start this episode, and I'm so cranky with myself. The Cape York trip was so long ago now, and you remember the first hour of being on the dirt road, we got this chip on the windscreen, and all this time later, I've decided I want to fill it. Now the instructions clearly say not to do it in hot weather or really cold weather, so I had a go in the morning. It wasn't so cold, but then I had another go in the afternoon to get a little bit more resin into the chip, and obviously I've tightened it up a little bit too hard and it started to run. Can you believe it? So all this time it was a chip, and I probably should have just left it. Now we're just going to have to monitor whether or not it's going to keep running and whether or not we'll need to put a new windscreen in. But let's continue on with the upcoming episode. So the last episode of this new build on its maiden run, I thought I had all the suspension dialed in for what I'm going to be using this vehicle for. Now while it worked off-road for us, I've been using it as a daily and enjoying it. So when I've got that full load of rubbish to take to the tip, you can see here that the shocks are too long for that sort of usage. Bottomed out quite badly on this particular day. So it seems like I need to find some kind of compromise between using it in the bush and getting maximum wheel travel and then using it on the road. With the factory setup, the driver's side pushes towards the back and the passenger side towards the front. Now the driver's side only has about 40 mil of shaft exposed, and the way the shocks work, the passenger side exposed is a little bit more. It's about 100 mil. Now normally I invert the shocks on the rear of my Hiluxes, and what that does, it gives both shocks exactly the same open and shut stance. Today's little mission is we're going to find a better length shock for the new single cab. Don't believe it. With the headlight torch, look what I just found. Magnetic key case. Don't tell me. Oh my goodness, it's a spare key and genuine. So I spent $20 at Mr. Minute not that long ago. Remember I told you in the first video that I would cut the key to preserve the original, and I spent $20 at Mr. Minute. So having that light to face up, I found it up there. Crazy. Who knows how long it's been there. The Nava torch back in the day really was the go-to for lighting. Anyway, we'll get this shock off. I suspect that U-bolt's loose. A few ingredients needed for this one: a diary, a tape, and a texter. So we've got the 79 genuine ones, then we've got the Terrain Tamer 79 ones, and then we had the Ranchos, the ones we had on there. Now these measurements are important. Fully extended, center to center. We've got 610, 660 for the Terrain Tamer. And the ones that we have established are too long, 725. The Ranchos are cool because they're also adjustable, so all the way anti-clockwise is the softest, and that's how we're running them in the front of the 106 as well. So these here used to fit in the front of Bullet before we found the Bilsteins. The Bilsteins are a much longer unit, and these became too short. And then we ran them in the back of the 79 before Terrain Tamer made the Fortifieds, which are awesome with the parabolics. So we're going to put these guys in. The other important measurement is the ride height. Lucky that's last year's diary. Driver's side 490 and passenger side 525. So there's the difference. This is quite a newish product from Penrite. Suspension grease, and I wish I had this in the desert. Just put a bit of this on there just to help the rubber go over. And remember that Simpson desert trip? Much harder to compress this shock than the Ranchos, that's for sure. This could be a problem. So whether this is valved for a heavier vehicle or not, we'll find out how it feels. I'm sure those U-bolts need a nip up too. Preventative maintenance. It's kind of how we found this issue, but that's for a later video. Oh wow, so loose. Wow. Finger tight. We'll sort that out. 3 sleeps to the season opener. Yeah. They haven't been ridden in ages. They had flat tyres. How many kicks, people? Pull the choke up. I've had the fuel on.
First hit.
Ooh, no way. That's not going for a while.
Okay, third.
Doesn't even sound like starting. Oh, there you go. It's going to go next one. And hey! Neely's not here. I reckon, being the older of the two, I reckon 6 kicks. Choke out?
Well, why?
It's her bike's normally a nightmare to start.
Oh, okay.
1.
Bloody hell. Oh, balls. Do you have can you put a rock behind me?
A rock?
Because it's...
I can't stop the video. Come on, you got the handbrake behind you now. Sometimes she can't... Oh, 4 kicks as well! So an oil change. A wash. Bit of product. These are going to be looking really good for day 1 of the club opening. A tighten and lube of the chain. Bring it on. We will at the end have some footage of the kids' first club day at the mini bike club and how excited they were to be back on their dirt bikes. First test that same day was a pallet of board. And it seemed as though the length of these shocks was perfect to take that weight. But what about with an empty tray? What's the ride like, you ask? It's back-breaking. So these Terrain Tamer shocks, we used them when we went across the Simpson. They were perfect under the back of the 79. But like I was worried about, they're valved differently, so I have a plan. Even got Ranchos hanging from the rafters. So out of these 3 examples, I needed something in between or something very similar to the Terrain Tamer, but valved softer. So I reached out to a friend of mine, John, who was our go-to back in the day at 4-wheel drive 1, and just by chance he had one in stock of a 660, which is the equivalent of the Terrain Tamer in an adjustable RS9000. So we'll get that on, and I'll be running different length shocks on the back of the LN106. I mean, I showed you earlier that the passenger side ride height is longer in any case, so I can run the longer one on the passenger side and then the shorter one on the driver's. For those times where I do put a bit of weight in the tray, we don't want to be caught out like I was on that last tip run with the long one on the driver's side. If you have a look here, the size under the one that we were running, now full compression, you're not losing that much up travel. Now I think in my case, the Neg 22s are going to be forcing the tyre up against the chassis before I get close to fully compressing that shock at that length. So while the up travel is quite similar in this shock, you can clearly see that it is a lot longer. So with the ride height measurements that we took and having that wheel off the ground, we can double check the lengths of our shock, and I mean that wheel's off the ground and that shock still hasn't bottomed out. So that's the new one that we put in, different to the one on the passenger side. What this is going to tell us now is the number in millimeters of flex from ride height. So that shock is not stopping any droop on that side, and that is a long way up. I think with the Neg 22s, I think it's potentially even touching. If I can get a camera in there. So if that's touching, then that's not going up any further, which means that won't bottom out. The front's doing, well, what the front does, and stoked with that. On all the stock steering components, tucking up real nice. Just clearing, so we're not going to foul on anything to stop that wheel turning, and there's no front locker anyway. We know that that compresses to the max, so we might work out somehow of extending those bump stops. I might put 80 series ones in. If we extended that bump stop by say 50 mil, a bit more than 50 mil, it'll compress before it puts a lot of pressure on that shock. And then with the droop on the passenger side, we have a size of 620. So that's about 4 inches, because its ride height was 525. Now let's spin the ute around and get a better look at the driver's side at full extension. The 24-hour drive till you drop. We've got a couple of episodes left of the current series, and then we've got one, New South Wales, 6 teams, Queensland, 6 teams. Coming up later this year at TJ's. Will you be barracking for Queensland or the home state of the Blues? Obviously, I look better in blue, so that's who I'll be barracking for. That's who I'll be driving for. I hope you guys enjoy the next couple of episodes, because at the end of it, we're going to announce 2 full teams, and then we have that special run order draw. That's fun. All the teams get put into the bucket and drawn out to see where your order is from 1 to 12. And I mean, between the 2 different rear shocks, both being the RS 9000s, I do have all those different adjustment levels to get the ride the same through the adjustment. So, you know, maybe I run 3 from the softest and 1 on the softest. 9 settings to choose how to make it feel comfortable between, you know, both sides. At the moment, it feels really, really comfortable, the ride in the car with an empty tray. So we'll get that measurement now of that fully open, but I'm pretty sure with that wheel just off the ground that shock isn't limiting it. It's going to be the spring pack and the binding of the springs not letting it go any further. Saddles are open and cut, and that one there, it's not touching, so it's just the other side. If you have a look at the other side, we are 40 mil off, full compression on that longer shock, so that's perfect, and just a little bit off the chassis. So we could be onto a good thing here. Perfect sizes at the back all round. Extend the bump stops at the front, then we should be right for the road, carrying the weight we do day to day. And then the odd trip where we air down and try and get as much out of the old girl as possible. I think we've got a good compromise happening. Brake line spring doing its job. We've just got to try and stop that. So I'll extend that bump stop so that that'll hit, and it'll actually force the other side down further with the bump stop in. The kids are excited to be back on their dirt bikes, and here's a little bit of footage of their first club day for 2026. Which one? Well, that's going to stop you in your tracks, mate. A flat tyre. Ride it into the pit slowly, and we'll end the episode with something a little bit different, fun, but still on tyres. I better not finish in this order with Millie in the front. How cool is this? It's a funny looking bullet truck. Put it away.
Here's that.
Dad!
I beat Nicholas.
Oh, where'd Mum come?
She's.
I was quick. I did 21 laps.
I smashed into you, but you're so
Oh,
slow.
come on. Last race of the night, and the kids hot on my heels here. They got me. Millie and Nicholas crash. Here's my chance. So Nicholas won that last race. I came in third again, but I still had the bragging rights of the quickest lap time throughout the night.
First lap was like, I couldn't go fast because the boost button was broken.
But I still got third, and you beat me this time. I hope you enjoyed this one, and as always, thanks for watching. No, you did. Awesome.